Ladies and gents, welcome back. I cover all kinds of stories on this channel, but I can't get to every story. There's only so many hours in the day. And sometimes a story comes my way and I don't report on it because I can't get enough information to get a clear view on what's going on. Sometimes I need some outside help, some outside perspective to help me. I'll get into that in just a minute, but it was not too long ago I came across this story in the Toronto Star. Where has the so-called freedom convoy gone, as they call it, the so-called? They just can't call it a freedom convoy. Don't look at us, but let's talk about it, says a new Ottawa group. Former church downtown Ottawa has been rechristened as the Embassy for a group called the United People of Canada, and that would be TUPOC as an abbreviation for that. Now, when I see a story come across in mainstream media, I take it with a grain of salt, always. And I always look for more information. So I'll try on Twitter. I'll reach out to people. Hey, can you give a statement? Would you like to talk about this thing? I didn't get anything back from this one. So the United People of Canada, new organization now operating in the historic former church in downtown Ottawa, is very keen to talk about the last winter's so-called freedom convoy. They call it so-called. It just really drives me nuts, this narrative-driven thing that they have going on. It's so keen, in fact, that TUPOC, as it calls itself, has booked a whole 2 whole weeks of discussion to take place in August in something called the Freedom Convoy, a community conversation. Now, I took that as, hey, let's have an open discussion about a thing. Now, the CBC News, and it ended up writing back, this is August 10th, a hit piece. I don't know how else you could call this. Controversial group creates private security force to guard former church. I mean, it sounds so ominous in this right here that they have a private security force. What is some paramilitary thing going on, the way they refer to it. TUPOC's move incredibly concerning for Lower Town Residents Community Association says. So obviously talking to people that disagree with these individuals, first not actually reaching out, I guess. In the article, they go on to make all kinds of accusations about this group, about what they're all about. And well, just take other people's word for what's going on. Now, there's a lot of vitriol. We know this is what's going on in our country as a whole. We're very divided people. We were pitted against each other by the Prime Minister of Canada, who labeled some people willing to or worthy of being in society and others unworthy of being in society. And, you know, people are trying to bring people back together. There is a whole group of individuals that are very, very happy with the division and would like to keep it that way. This group, from their statements and what they say publicly, what they're doing in practice, seems to be a case where they're looking to bridge that divide. They're inviting anybody to come in to have discussions, not arguments, but have discussions and bring people together. Now, I wanted to get to the bottom of this discussion. And well, like I said, the best way to do that is to reach out to people who are actually on the ground. And there's a YouTuber by the name of UOttawaScotty, who the community was telling me, you got to reach out and you got to get a hold of this guy. He's been hanging out and learning what these guys are all about and reporting on it. And so I reached out to him, and last night we did a live stream where he told me exactly what it is that they are actually all about. And here's a few little clips here from that live stream yesterday.
This is their idea. This is their own little offshoot. And I got to be careful what I say here, because they're trying to actually distance themselves from the Freedom Convoy. So although this may have spawned out of the Freedom Convoy, it is not related to or really has anything to do with the Freedom Convoy. It's its own thing.
Right.
It's all about freedom. It's all about freedom of speech and being inclusive, because the Canadians are upset. They're upset at the Prime Minister for dividing our country, for pitting us against each other. And, you know, if you read the United Peoples of Canada's website, they're all about uniting people. they're called the United People of Canada. They are not discriminatory against any particular ideas. It's a place where anybody can express their ideas openly and not be discriminated against from all cultures. So what they're trying to do is really really a great thing, and it's upsetting, Clyde, watching the community like just it's really hard
So two
watching
points
this.
there
But
I wanted to bring up. Okay, and I'll leave a link in the description down below so everyone can watch that video. Particularly, it's well, an hour, just over an hour, and UOttawaScotty and myself, we get into the details of what's going on with this group TUPOC in Ottawa, the church that they've acquired, or the church that they're currently renting or looking to acquire. They have a situation now moving forward where they may be evicted from the premises, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and I'd like to report more on this story. The reason why I haven't reported on it is because up until now I haven't been able to get a good vision of what's actually going down. So you have your state-run propaganda that will paint the picture of these people in whatever light that they want to paint them in. And as we saw during the convoy, I reported on news that was happening downtown Ottawa. The news that was what was actually happening was not reflective of what was actually going on downtown. So it's very important to talk to people on the ground. During the convoy, I had people on the ground. I was getting information directly from that. There was live streamers streaming it constantly, and that's what was really good at disseminating true information about what was happening, and why people tune into this channel in the first place is because I'm really just looking for the truth. They want to call it misinformation, malinformation. I think malinformation is just a term where it's true information, but it may be harmful for somebody. That's terrible. And I guess malinformation is true information that's harmful to the Trudeau government. And the propaganda wing here is very good at doing what they do and swaying the opinion against people who are actually just trying to make a difference in a community. And open discussion. Have open discussion. If you disagree with them, go disagree with them. Go have a conversation about what it is that you disagree with them. But I took particular offense to the idea that just anyone having any sort of watchdog group or some sort of way of looking after a piece of property being labeled as some sort of ominous security force. And I asked specifically that question. Here's a little clip from that here. Controversial group creates private security force to guard former church. Thank you, CBC, state-run propaganda, to give us this. And there's the one guy walking around just keeping an eye on the joint. And like, oh my goodness, he got a private security force. Like they're making it sound like some paramilitary thing in the article. But it's just a guy walking around making sure people aren't vandalizing and calling the police if someone does, that kind of thing.
And making sure people don't overdose and die.
Well,
that's another thing. So the person in this picture that you're looking at right there, he's one of the directors. That guy's name's William Comer.
Okay.
So he's not the guy walking around the church. Actually, the guy that walks around the church, his name is I love this guy so much, Clyde. His name is DJ Freedom 613, and he's the resident DJ of the church, and I love the guy.
Is there a wiki in his name? Throw that in
you can't make this stuff up. Like I love these guys. There's so many characters there. This, everybody's got a nickname,
Nice.
And I love it. So DJ Freedom 613. He's got 613. Let's have it 613. That's I'm a freedom guy.
I can do that.
So anyways, he's got his security vest.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a flashlight. He's got his security stuff, and he makes a round every 15 minutes. What's the big deal? That's a good thing, right?
Is
that not a good thing, Clark?
Yeah. Well, so again, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out the whole conversation. But yeah, from what I gather now from this whole situation is we've got scary paramilitary force, but it's just one guy who's running security at this location, a church, an old decommissioned church in Ottawa, where they're trying to bring community together. And well, they're being villainized. They're being demonized by the state-run media, and people are coming out and vandalizing the place because of the bad information, the bad stories, the false information that they're getting from the state-run and state-funded private media, if you want to call it that, from other media outlets. But I find it very troubling, the situation. You could disagree with these people all you want. Like, I'm not saying you have to agree with them. I'm just saying don't misrepresent them. Go down and actually speak with them instead of writing these hit pieces like that. But yeah, check out the live stream. It's the recorded version of the live stream. It will be in the description down below. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long. UOttawaScotty and I have a great discussion regarding this. He has lots of information about this group and what's going on down on the scene. Anyway, before this video goes too long, let's end it. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell, because then you'll get these notifications when I go live impromptu like that. Be sure to do that. Hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.